So, hello, guys. So, you have to realize this is my mindset. I think of things in terms of wisdom. And now, when I think of wisdom, I try to find something that's going to help my life. And when I find something that helps my life, I actually apply it. And the way I apply information is I make sure to do it. So, if someone tells me, let's say, quit drugs and don't do drugs, then I make sure to apply the discipline in my life based on better information. So I seek more information all the time, making sure that I have something that I need. So I'm always looking for something that I need. And what I need in every single moment is wisdom. I need people to educate me personally. I need more mentors. I need more information. Do you know why? Because when I have more information, I can live a greater life. You see, information for me is a guiding compass. It guides me. It shows me the way. It shows me how to think better. Information for me is ideas, and it's something that gives me completeness. It completes me in some kind of way. So when I'm reading, for example, I'm always looking for ideas to help me. I'm always making sure that I'm looking at one aspect of life, and that's wisdom. And now, when I stick to wisdom while learning information, I'm always seeking to see the information that people are talking about, but I'm always trying to relate it to wisdom. So, for example, if you focus on wisdom alone, just the word wisdom, and you try to relate everything to the word wisdom, then you understand how to read, then you understand how to learn fast, you'll understand much more about what people are talking about and how it all relates to wisdom. So you have to realize that because I always seek wisdom for myself, I make sure that I become a better person overall. I'm always seeking more information to make sure that my life is a better life. I'm always trying to grow myself. I'm always trying to reach for information to make sure that I can help myself in some kind of way. So when I every single day learn wisdom and I learn much more about information, ideas, I'm always seeking information. I'm always reading something in the background, you understand? And because I read a lot in my life, I'm always seeking to always relate everything to wisdom, but making sure that I'm always learning from everything. I'm always trying to seek to learn because I understand that I want to make my mind set. I want to make my mindset very sharp. I want to be very into life. I want to be all the time curious about everything. I want to make sure that someday, if I ever have kids, to make sure to sharpen their mindset, to make sure that they have a great mindset to be around and that they have a future in what they are doing. You understand? So you have to realize that the thing is that when I look to craft a person, I look to craft their mindset, I look to every single day give them as many ideas as I can that is better information for them to understand. And I'm always seeking for the better way of life. I'm always seeking for ways that I can live my life in a better way. So sometimes I find myself too much at home, you understand? And then I understand that when I'm too much at home, I realize that I have to grow regardless of where I am in life. I have to be making sure that I'm always seeking ideas, that I'm always trying to seek to learn, that I'm always a student of life, that I'm always understanding something about life, that I'm always reaching for information in terms of words or music or anything that fulfills me to make sure that I can have a happy life for myself. And now, I don't have all the money of the world, you understand? And you have to realize that it doesn't matter, but it does. And you have to realize that the thing is that all the money to me in life and what money means to me is wisdom. And now you have to realize many people talk about millions of dollars and billions of dollars and how to make money and all this. You have to realize that what's important to me personally in life is wisdom. And now if I can make the wisdom of all that, then that's what I need. I realize money is not going to make me happy, but what's going to make me happy is wisdom. And now when I have a lot of wisdom in life to give to people, I realize I try to create content every single day as much as I can, every single day to make sure that I'm teaching, that I'm always that I'm living a great life in some kind of way, that I'm trying to provide and be a provider of information, that I'm trying to always grow myself in some kind of way. And now you have to realize that some people are not going to be into you. They're not going to like you because of the person you are. And you have to realize, forget these people and don't hang around with these people who dislike you. Don't go to places that, for example, don't want to promote you, that don't be happy when you're around. In a sense, so you have to realize it's always be around people who are teaching. Be around people who are always giving you something to think about. And now when you always have something to think about, you're always working. You're always in a state of working environment. You're always working because when you work, you always have something to do. You understand? So for example, my mum cleans the house a lot. And you have to understand that I clean the house sometimes as well. But the thing is that you have to be learning something from that. Yes, and you have to be learning from what you do. You understand? So if you have an audio program in the background while you're cleaning the house, then it's going to be much more better for you because you're going to be learning something in the process of life. So recently I bought my tickets. I bought a ticket to go to an event in the city in Sydney. And you have to realize that I'm going to go for a music experience. I'm going to go and write some content down, be around some people and stuff like that. But the thing is that I understand that if I want to learn something in this moment or in any kind of moment, I have to always reach out for information. I have to always be teaching something about my life or about anything around life so that I can always do my job, so that I can always be a provider that I am. So the way I provide money or information or anything in life is I provide a lot of ideas. I provide as many ideas as I can, and when I give that information to people, I feel good about it because I achieved something in my life. And now when I achieve something in my life, I'm always seeking to do more. And now many people won't listen to my audio programs, and many people will not even glimpse what I have to say or anything like that, because you have to understand that many people are not open-minded. Yes, and so you have to realize, be away from people who are not open-minded. So be away from them. Don't go around people who are closed-minded or who don't seek to learn from you. Yes, and so every single day, that if you always do more information, always people are going to see that you're an information person, that you are and that you are an information freak, that you're always doing something around information work in your daily life. And now the only thing that satisfies me really in life is information. I realize I go where the information is. I realize if I go where the information is, then I understand something about that information. I always seek to understand. And because I seek to understand something about life, then that's what fulfills me. I fulfill myself through making sure that I'm learning, that I'm growing, that I'm making sure I'm using those ideas to help my life in some kind of way, to always speak my mindset when I can, and to always be around people who want to talk ideas and who want to talk about growth and stuff like that. And when you talk about things in a certain way with people or with yourself, you have to realize you always lead them in a better direction. Always teach them something about your life. Teach them something about life in general, around how they can do better or anything in terms of something that's personal growth. And now if you find yourself around people where you can't give them ideas and they don't want to hear your ideas, then don't be around those people who don't want to hear your ideas or your perspective or anything like that. So you have to realize all the time, always rotate information around. Be someone who's always studying information. Always study information. Make sure every single day you're doing something around mindset work, understanding to always make concepts for yourself, making ideas, making things come true for yourself. And when you do this every single day, you always find more in what you're doing. Because the only way I satisfy myself these days is through information. So when I seek wisdom, which is information, I always seek to actually always help my life to succeed. And that's how I actually grow. I grow through making sure that I'm always making ideas come true for me, that I'm making a lot of information come true in my life, that I'm giving meaning to life, that I'm always searching for meaning, I'm always searching for more, I'm always trying to do more. I'm trying to do more to contribute to the world. And because I try to seek for myself to help myself, then I seek to always help other people also, because I understand that many people need help today, and many people need a life coach, and they need information to help their life. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about seeking information to help myself, to help you, to help my kids, to help everything in life. And now I don't have kids, but the thing is that if I ever achieve kids, I'm going to have a lot of information to give them. And this is like a house that I've built for myself. It's a system that I'm teaching all the people on the planet to make sure that they can live life on a greater term. And you have to realize that if you build a house of wisdom in your life, then nothing can shake you, nothing can break you. I realize you're always going to be able to live in a different way. You're going to be able to do things differently. You're going to be able to grow. You're going to be able to be a unique individual to your own needs. You're going to be able to express your needs. You're going to be expressing all types of thinking and all types of ways that you can live life. And you're always going to be thriving. You're always going to be understanding that, hey, it's not the end of the world if you're not working a 9-to-5 job. And it's not the end of the world if you don't have all the money in the world. You have to realize all the time, make more for yourself. Make a lot of things come true for you. Try to achieve your goals. Try to reach more standards in your life. Try to have better morals. Try to actually have better values in your life. Try to actually always do something better for yourself. Try to take yourself out somewhere and understand how to learn from it, how to grow from it, how to actually have a spiritual way of life from everything. And understand every single day that no matter what, you have to understand. You have to understand what it is that you want to learn. And you have to always understand that when you want to learn something, just read something. And the more you read, the more you'll find what you're learning. And the more you find what you're learning, the more you understand exactly what you want to learn. Yes, and so you have to realize that, for example, because I read from Grant Cardone, for example, he teaches me a lot about finance, about wisdom, about a lot of things about life. And you have to realize I relate everything to wisdom. And because he talks about finance, I think of wisdom instead. He talks about taxes, I talk about wisdom, for example. I understand I'm always thinking about wisdom. I'm always understanding that whatever he's talking about with his wife or for anybody in life, I'm always understanding to relate everything to wisdom, and how does that relate to wisdom. So I'm always understanding to always understand exactly how I talk and what I do on a daily basis, to understand my rituals, to understand my schedule, to understand exactly how I provide to the world, to understand myself, to know myself, to understand, to give ideas, to just grow from everything that I am. And when I grow, when I grow as an individual, I'm understanding to always talk about things. And when I talk about things, I'm always living a great life because I'm expressing myself, or because I'm trying to help myself to grow in some kind of way, to speak in a different direction, to speak in something that I've never spoken about. And just always speaking is something that always fulfills me, because when I speak a lot in life, I'm actually living a greater life. I'm always making more common sense about what I want to say. And because I make a lot of common sense for myself personally, I always find that this fulfills me, because I'm making common sense. And now, because I understand that common sense is something that gives you meaning, it gives you a sense of peace, it gives you a sense of silence, it gives you something to think about, it gives you something of an insight or an idea that's going to improve your life. And that's what common sense is to me. It's happiness, it's growth, it's confidence, it's courage. And you have to realize, no matter what happens in life, you have to always be constantly helping yourself to grow, and always thinking about how to do a better way of life regardless of the situation. So you have to realize, if someone's so much stuck in a house all day, if they're always stuck in the house and they're not going anywhere, you have to realize that these people have to grow. Yes, and they have to grow in those moments, and they have to find ways to live a life in the present moment. They have to be present. You have to be always present in your life regardless of the circumstance that you're facing at the moment. And you have to realize that there was a time in your life when you were facing much more adversity, you were facing much more, let's say, challenges in your life before. And the challenges are always the same, But as you grow in age, you realize that challenges get easier and easier and easier throughout time the more you're learning. And the more you learn about life, the more you can understand the challenge of life, and the more you can understand exactly how to go about life and everything in terms of living a greater life for yourself. You understand? So no matter what, you have to always lead people in a direction, of some kind of direction that's going to help them to grow. You have to be providing information every single day that no matter what happens, that people can see that you're trying to help, that you're trying to do better in your life, that you're always helping yourself no matter what, that you're always understanding things around life that you never understood before, and that you're always relating everything to information and wisdom to make sure that you're growing. You understand? So that's what I do in my daily life. I'm always seeking for better ways of ideas, better ways of thinking, better ways of doing things, better ways of living my life. And I seek out for this information all the time. So at the moment, I'm reading the Cardone Zone, which is Grant Cardone's playlist on YouTube, and it's named Cardone Zone episodes. And you have to realize that I'm going through around 300 videos or so. I'm going through around 300 videos. He has around 300 videos in that playlist, and I'm just slowly reading every single video that he has to say about knowledge and about wisdom and everything, because I understand that he's very updated about life, he's very updated about finance and wisdom and stuff like that, and I would always like to always learn more. I would always like to understand more about my life and about how I can live a greater life for myself. But I understand that if I died today, I understand that it's much more how I'm always doing things to make sure that I live a greater life regardless of how it's going. You understand? So you have to realize that death is a part of life and that we're all going to die one day. But the thing is that it's what you left behind in this world and how did you contribute to the planet and how did you live your life that matters the most. You understand? So you have to realize everyone wants to have a better life. You understand? Some people are living a life, but they're not living greatly. They're not trying to do better. You understand? Some people are always on points. They're always trying to do something to grow. In a sense, so you have to realize that I'm not on point about what I say. I'm never on point about what I say. But the thing is that I'm always trying to learn from exactly what I'm saying. I'm trying to learn from my mindset, from my thoughts, from my individuality, from who I am. And because I always seek to learn much more about my life, I always seek to actually do more content, because I understand that when I do content, I'm happy. I'm understanding I'm contributing in some way. I'm understanding I'm living a great life in some kind of way. And I'm understanding that it's not the end of the world if I don't achieve those things that other people achieved, because I have wisdom. And because I have wisdom, I understand that that's all I can have in my life. And that's what I have now. It's for free. I realize wisdom's always for free, and you can always make more wisdom out of life. Yes, and so when you make more wisdom out of life, then you're going to live a greater life. You're going to be able to grow yourself. You're going to be able to do more. You're going to be able to understand more. You're going to be able to work more. You're going to be able to cherish yourself more. You're going to be able to give more ideas. And that's the whole point of living a great life, you understand? So no matter what happens in life, I'm a coach for life. I coach myself the most. And you have to realize that when I coach myself, I'm always understanding more, and I'm always trying to seek more for myself. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to live more. I'm trying to grow more. I'm trying to do everything in my life to make sure that I can live the best life possible, so that I can teach people how to live the best life possible. And same, because I'm all about mindset work. I'm all about positivity work and understanding common sense and making sure that you guys out there who are listening to this program have everything that you can have in life in terms of wisdom that I can give in my life. And there's always going to be more wisdom to go around. But this is how I fulfill myself. This is what I do on a daily basis. I always seek to do more. And because I seek to do more, I'm always living more. I'm always growing myself more. I'm living the best life that I can live every single day. I'm understanding that, yes, sometimes life can get boring, but if you seek to learn within the boredom, if you seek to learn in your time where you're bored, just keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what, just always seek to grow. And that way you can live in the present moment, and that way you can always understand how to accept the moment and grow from it, and understand that someday, yes, it's going to get better for you as long as you're growing, you understand? So you have to realize that where I want to be in 10 years time is I want to be richer, I want to be having a greater mindset, I want to do more, I want to live more, I want to do everything in my power to make sure that I have a better life for myself. And I can only do that by creating more content, by reading more, by making sure I'm taking care of myself, by making sure that I'm in the peak of my life in every single day, in terms of every moment, that I'm always in the prime of my life, making sure that I'm growing myself, making sure that I'm disciplined, doing things according to something that's helping me to do better. So I'm always understanding that the more I live life, and the more I need to always understand more. I need to always grow my individuality about who I am and about what I need to do in my life to make sure that I'm always understanding exactly where I need to go about my life, and to make sure that I'm always understanding exactly how to go about things. You understand? Because you have to always keep teaching yourself. You can't stop teaching yourself. You have to realize that if you stop teaching yourself, then you're gonna die faster. Yes, and start teaching yourself more about life. Start teaching yourself everything about life, and that way you can keep curious. That way you can be interested about everything. You understand? So if you go somewhere, seek to learn something from that situation. Seek to learn everything in life that you can, and that way you can stay interested. You can stay curious. You can stay open-minded, and you can always have a better life like this because you're opening the door for yourself. You're opening yourself to receive. And when you open yourself to receive a life that you can live in a greater way, then you're always going to live a greater way because you're always trying to receive more. That's the better way for you. In a sense, so you're always understanding that if you want the better life for yourself, you always have to do mindset work. You have to do a lot of work around knowledge. You have to understand you have to get knowledgeable every single day. You have to understand to always feed your mind with positive information. Seek people who are always giving content, who are always living that life that you want to live. You know, be around role models or around people who are doing a lot of information work. And now when you do a lot of information work yourself, then you're going to find something that you can say will help in some kind of way. And you have to realize that you can help yourself in ways that you've never thought of before, as long as you're willing to help yourself and as long as you're willing to do something for people in terms of information work. I promise you, when you do that, I promise you that that's going to open up the key for you to live life. And when you're always seeking to help people, that way it gives you meaning, it gives you a sense of purpose, it gives you a sense of something that you can keep going with. And you have to realize you have to make common sense about life. You know, saying, the more common sense you make about life, the more you can actually understand and the more you can actually do in your life. So the thing is that if you want to go for a drive somewhere or if you want to do something, make sure you're always reading along the way. Make sure that you're doing something that helps you to do something to have more money in your life. Make sure you're understanding that when you're saving money, make sure that you're investing it somewhere where you're going to multiply the money in your life. You understand? So don't keep it in an account. Don't keep your money in one account where your money's not growing. You have to understand that money grows only when you use it in a better way. So make sure you're always using everything in your life that you have right now to make sure that you're helping people, that you're making sure that you're helping yourself. Make sure that you're utilizing information in your life, because nobody's going to push you to learn. Nobody's going to push you to work. You understand? Nobody's going to push you to do anything. And you have to always find that time within yourself, and you have to find everything within yourself that you can to make sure that you're living that greater life that you can live. Yes, and that's what it's all about. It's always about reaching more in life and reaching for more information, because that's what fulfills you. When you have more and more and more in your life, you're always going to be more fulfilled. Yes, and you're always going to have more. But when you have enough to go around, then that means that you're ready to die when you have enough. You understand? But having enough also is a satisfaction. When you have enough of information or anything like that, you can always be much more grateful about what you have, and you can always understand that it's much better to have always more than enough. You understand? To always understand to have more in your life, to understand to be as greedy as you can in your life, to have more information. You understand? So be a greedy person in the way that you're always wanting more for yourself. You understand? Because when you have more, you can always understand how to have more than enough. You understand? So always understand that no matter what happens in your life, make sure that you're coaching as much as possible, so that you're coaching yourself, and so that you're coaching maybe your kids. When you have kids, for example, you can understand that when you've made thousands of hours of content that they can read, you have to realize that you can start today making this content, and you don't have to wait until you have kids to teach your kids. You can start teaching today, and then along the way you build all this content for them, and then when you have kids, they can finally go and reach out for this content that you made, and you can understand how they're going to learn from you in a greater way, and you're going to be able to give them direction. I realize that if my dad gave me so much direction that I found in terms of my life, I would have been better off even earlier in my life. I realized if I had this information from other people and from people that I have today and from myself, if I had this information earlier, I would probably be in a better place, and I would be in a better place because of time and because of everything that I am. I realize although I'm making sure that I can multiply my knowledge now. I want to multiply my knowledge now, because I understand that the more I multiply my knowledge, the more wiser I become, the better individual I become. I understand that's what I'm always working toward. I'm always working toward a better way of life, something that I can do to help as much as I can, to make sure that I'm growing myself, that I can help myself to live a greater life, that I can do something in my life every single day to make sure that I can do as much as I can, so that I can push my limits in a way that I'm pushing my limits in a way that I push my knowledge as much as I can. Yes, and so I have to push as much as I can. I have to keep pushing into life. I have to keep pushing into this moment so I can live, so I can keep growing my wisdom, so I can keep growing the person I am, so I can keep doing something to help fulfill myself to grow. You understand? That's what growth work is about. It's about making sure that you're always making more sharpness in your life, that you're always sharper, that you're always understanding much more about how to learn, how to grow, how to do things better, how to have more money, how to have everything that you ever want. So the more you understand the questions of life or anything about life, when you're reading and when you're actually trying to help, and when you're actually helping in some kind of way, you're actually fulfilled, and you're actually much more in a better direction than before. So now I'm much more at my peak today than I ever was in my life, because I have more knowledge this time round, and I have more to give, and I have more to receive. And I understand that's the whole point of understanding exactly where you need to be and exactly what you need to learn in terms of life, is just keep always seeking that information. Seek information everywhere that you can. Just put an audio program on, and that will always give you more information and to go around, and you always understand how to use it, because the more common sense you make, the better for your life to succeed, and you always understand exactly how you need to learn. So just understand, always keep pushing yourself to do information. Push yourself to actually always grow in every single moment that you are in, because that's the fulfillment of life. Life is fulfilling every single day when you understand how to grow. You understand? So no matter what, every single day understand that no matter what you do, always learn, always grow, always make sure that you're living the best life that you can, and that's how you actually grow in your life. So no matter what happens anyway, I realize just grow in some kind of direction that you can. That's what you need to do. So if you guys have understood anything about this audio program, make sure that you understand that it's always about understanding much more about life, and how to actually do a greater way of life for yourself and other people, so that you understand the better purpose of life.